Wasn't my best one. Yeah. It wasn't my best one.
It was pretty good. You know what was so strong? It was the delivery. Mm-hmm. You got real weird.
You tried to convince us that you believed it, and that last one, you wasn't so sure.
Yeah. 61 Dan Tappin? Would you say?
Dan Topping.
Dan Topping.
Have you seen the movie? It's a great movie with Crystal.
Oh, Lord.
With 61 with Maris
and
him.
He came into work and told me to watch.
Mary Tyler Moore. You guys see the Mary Tyler Moore thing?
He said, Molly, the Mary Tyler Moore documentary is great.
Have you seen it?
The only old show I want to hear about is The Honeymooners.
All right, we got to go. We got to go, and we'll be back.
This segment is just famous.
We still don't care what none of y'all think. We never have, we never will.
Just the second 8 seed ever to make the NBA Finals.
We get to enjoy this, and then it's time to lock in on the Nuggets.
Denver makes history. The Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history.
You know, we're going to keep making history. That's the thing. We got 4 more wins to go.
Jimmy freaking Butler puts it in.
Jamal Murray red hot.
Jokic.
Oh, it's good. Of course it goes in.
Oh, he is a monster in the playoffs.
No way they thought that was the answer.
This is where all the best players that show up and they show out. I know what we're capable of. I like our chances.
So this year's NBA Finals matchup, it's an underdog story that's been flipped on its head because the favorites, they're the top-seeded Denver Nuggets, but they're not exactly your typical Goliath. It's the franchise's first ever time making the NBA Finals. In their 46 seasons, 94 playoff wins, both the most in NBA history prior to making the Finals. And then playing the role of David in this series, we have the Miami Heat. Despite coming off their third Eastern Conference Finals in the last 4 years, the Heat are just the second 8th seed to reach the NBA Finals. They also had the longest title odds entering the playoffs of any team to do so since the merger. But in a way, I mean, the Heat are led by underdogs, right? University of Portland's finest, Eric Spoelstra, he guided his team. He grinded from the tape room to his 6th career NBA Finals appearance. And by the way, that's a number that only 3 coaches in NBA history have eclipsed. And then there's Jimmy Butler. We all remember this from the finals in the bubble, but he continuously is overlooked, and yet he leaves it all out on the floor time and time again. So the Heat, they're going to have to beat the odds one more time to take home their 4th title in franchise history. They're currently the 3-1 underdogs. They've also lost 9 of their last 10 games against Denver, but the Nuggets, they aren't taking Miami lightly. We expect to hear from Michael Malone in just a little bit. I mentioned Jimmy, but that's not actually the matchup I want to dive into first. It is the battle of the big men. So, Perk, I'm going to start with you, our resident big man. Your first impressions of Bam versus Jokic.
Well, after seeing Bam in this series, I'm concerned, and we all should be. But
for Bam or for Denver?
Yeah, for Bam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he has to play better. But I'm looking at the team, and I'm looking at Eric Spoelstra, and I'm wondering what kind of defensive scheme is he going to try to come up with to actually just slow down Jokic and not leave Bam on the island by himself? And I'm also looking at K-Love. I'm looking to see if they could maybe stagger those minutes between him and Bam and give Bam rest, because we don't know if he's going to get in foul trouble. You can't put a smaller guy on him. So, I mean, it's a tough cover. But again, the Heat are here for a reason. Bam is on an all-defensive team, one of the top defensive bigs in the game. I expect him to accept and take on the challenge.
Zach, what do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, this has been a tough cover for Bam over the last few years. Jokic is just so big and so strong and has been able to get to his spots pretty comfortably against Bam. And every time you send help toward him, he's just picking you apart. He's maybe the best zone buster in the entire NBA, and that's a plot that looms large in this series. Perk mentioned Kevin Love. And I do wonder, would the Heat start Kevin Love again? And would they even try Love on Jokic and have Bam on Aaron Gordon? Is that kind of rover?